I don't really, I don't really care about the reports, to be honest.
You lying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when I came to this organization, my whole mindset was about restoring, excellence.
As far as him being the savior, he was the savior.
The Lakers were absolutely in the desert until LeBron came back, and he absolutely was the savior of the franchise.
Face it, you're a terrible liar.
Quite frankly, I don't really care about articles. I really don't. I don't care about stories. I don't care about podcasts and all that type of shit.
Ironic.
When you examine the last decade of NBA media coverage, the biggest snake oil salesman and fraud isn't Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, or even Colin Cowherd. The undisputed champion of bias is Nick Wright, a man who functions practically as a LeBron James spokesperson. Day in and day out, Wright will defend James regardless of the reality. Shoot 0 for 5, he will defend him. Commit 15 turnovers, somehow, it wasn't his fault.
Who else? James for the tie.
It's not your fault.
Looking, finds James, takes a pass, falling away, baseline shot, side of the backboard.
It's not your fault.
Love to inbound, finds James. James blocked by Iguodala, ball loose, touched out of bounds by James.
It's not your fault.
Throughout his media career, he constantly falls back on one specific narrative. Scottie Pippen saved Michael Jordan. End of discussion. Jordan? Before Scottie arrived, Jordan was supposedly a loser. This narrative is false. It is built on lies. You might ask, why does this matter today? It is actually quite simple. Following a brutal ESPN article that trashed Jeannie Buss, LeBron James, and Clutch Sports, many LeBron fans are panic-stricken, scrambling to shift the blame. The talking point they have settled on is simple. LeBron went to Los Angeles.
LeBron had an outsized ego and didn't like the perception that LeBron saved the Lakers by signing there despite the struggles the Lakers went through after Kobe Bryant's retirement. He did.
That is a floundering franchise that was saved. One, some people think that if you save something or someone, you might consider yourself a savior by LeBron James wanting to move to Los Angeles. I disagree.
For the fans pushing this savior narrative, it directly contradicts their stance on Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. When you compare these two situations, LeBron saving the Lakers, what do they conveniently forget? The 2019 season, where Los Angeles missed the playoffs even after LeBron supposedly activated playoff mode. And regarding the narrative that Scottie saved Jordan, what do they ignore there? In 1988, Michael Jordan was the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, and the scoring champion, one of the greatest peaks in history. Scottie Pippen was a rookie fighting Brad Sellers just to get quality minutes.
Michael Jordan, before he got Scottie Pippen, never won a playoff series. Got swept by the Big Three in Boston.
Before Scottie Pippen got there, a total and complete loser.
You keep talking about how great he was, but how great was he without Scottie Pippen? Just a guy that put up a lot of stats.
Stop it. Get some help.
Looking at the big picture, you cannot claim LeBron in 2019 was a savior who did it alone, while simultaneously claiming Jordan was carried and bailed out by Pippen. LeBron fans often overhype Scottie Pippen, inflating his legacy and skill level. Look, Pippen was a fantastic player and integral to the dynasty, but the 1988 version of Scottie, the one Jordan had at the start, was far from an all-star. He wasn't even a particularly good NBA player yet. If you want to discuss who saved whom, look at the first round in 1988, Cleveland versus Chicago. In that series, Michael Jordan averaged 45.2 points per game. That is the highest single series average in NBA history. Scottie Pippen averaged 10 points, a solid player, sure. But look at the Bulls' depth. Their next 5 leading scorers combined didn't equal Jordan's production. Bringing it full circle, pundits like Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe will claim 1988 Pippen saved Jordan from being a loser. But look at LeBron's situation. What do they ignore about 2019? LeBron missing the postseason before Davis arrived. LeBron fans are inconsistent, and their arguments are flimsy at best. Now look at 2020 Anthony Davis, the actual savior of Los Angeles. His postseason performance was unreal. He was the best defender in basketball, and offensively, he and LeBron were neck and neck. I like that point. You know, AD is a top 5 player in the league. We are watching him play at an elite level to prove that status. If he got switched onto someone, You just face guarded your man and boxed out. Because we weren't helping him. You didn't need to. If you tried to take it to the rim against him, he was going to block it. Butler turns the corner. Look at the ability to recover, get active, stay aggressive, and get other guys involved. Lillard shoots, and it's partially blocked by Davis. Look at him running the floor. Anthony Davis. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. I'll meet you at the summit, my friend. Oh my goodness, what a block. He should have won Defensive Player of the Year that season. I think they gave it to Giannis. He got MVP, too. But literally, that was our entire defense. We would just be super aggressive. And if Anthony Davis got switched on to someone, we let them go one-on-one. Again, the LeBron fan base is never consistent. They pick and choose who is a savior and whose context matters. Speaking of ignored context, compare 2020 Anthony Davis to 1988 Scottie Pippen. These two players were light years apart. Davis was a legitimate superstar and MVP candidate. 1988, Scottie Pippen, the guy who supposedly saved Jordan, was a role player. He was a rookie. We got it. It'll get by you today. He gets treatment like this? Tweet this out next year at this time. All right. Yeah. Okay. One last thing I want to address regarding the savior narrative. The Lakers in 2017 and 2018 were building a great young core with tons of assets. If Los Angeles was completely inept with no direction, guys like Randall, Lonzo, Kuzma, and even Brandon Ingram wouldn't be in purple and gold. The post-Kobe rebuild was actually going fairly well after only 2 seasons. In 2017, they won 26 games. In 2018, that jumped to 35. You might say 35 wins sucks. Well, yeah, it kind of does. But in 2019, when they acquired LeBron James, that win total increased by only 2 games. And before you mention it, yes, LeBron was injured, but when he activated playoff mode, they went 7-13. This proves the savior narrative is, at the very least, overrated. My level of intensity has to be, unfortunately for me, because I don't like to do it this early. I am a little different, but it has been activated. He tries to go around Davis, off his foot, out of bounds, Brooklyn ball, LeBron James working on Rudy Gay, LeBron for the lead, not there, tipped up, minutes remaining, Brandon Ingram battling a shoulder injury, Tyson Chandler as well, as the Lakers turn it over. Some people think if you save something, you are a savior. I don't think so. Now, let's look at the Bulls team Michael Jordan joined. Before Jordan, the Bulls were basically invisible, historically just another expansion squad filling out the schedule. And since he left, what do they really have to show for it? 1 trip to the conference finals and Derrick Rose snagging an MVP trophy. That is the extent of the post-Jordan legacy in Chicago. Now, look at the Lakers. Before LeBron arrived, and hopefully long after he is gone, they remain a premier franchise, perennial contenders, and one of the biggest brands in all of sports. It does not matter if they win 17 games or 70. The Lakers, just like the Cowboys or the Yankees, always move the needle. But speaking of relevance, rewind to Chicago 2 years before Mike. In 83, 28 wins. In 84, 27. That mid-80s Bulls squad was in a free fall, completely falling apart after being somewhat decent in the 70s. So, what is the big picture here? If you want to talk about a savior, Michael was the literal savior for that city. The moment he touched down, the whole town shifted, and the entire NBA landscape changed with it. When you look at LeBron's run in Los Angeles, you simply cannot say the same thing. There was an article recently that tried to claim the LeBron experiment was worth it, suggesting that is the narrative we all need to accept and embrace. Yeah, I am going to pass on that. That is exactly what I broke down in the video. And let me make one final point. James has been suiting up for Los Angeles for 8 straight seasons now. Compare that to his past stops. His longest stretch before this was his first run in Cleveland, which lasted 7 years. In Miami, he only stayed for 4, and his return to the Cavs was another 4-year stint. So when you evaluate his time on the West Coast, even with that so-called championship, has he actually restored the prestige? Has he elevated the franchise or solidified his spot as a true Laker legend? If you ask me, the answer is no. Over this 8-year run, we have seen more bloopers and blunders than actual greatness or legendary playoff performances. Really think about that. What signature moment or iconic play does he actually have in a Lakers jersey? If you can come up with one, drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you liked the breakdown, and I will catch you next time.